up, YouTube? Ryan back today. I have officially finished my top 50 hitters prospect list. And the reason I separated them from hitters and pitchers is just because I feel like it needs to be done. There's just every prospect list has both hitters and pitchers on it. And it's like, how do you rank player A over player B when one's a really good hitter and one's a really good pitcher? Like, how do you rank Mike Trout over like Jacob deGrom? Because like Jacob deGrom's like the most dominating pitcher we've seen in a long time when he's healthy. Either one of those players could be like number one right now if you wanted to rank best baseball player. Like, it's difficult to make those decisions. So we're not even dealing with that. We're doing a hitters top 50, and I'll probably do like a top 25 for pitchers is my guess. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know how long this video is going to be, and it's not going to be all top 50 prospects today because I don't want the video to be like, literally, it would be like a 2-hour video because you guys just know I like to ramble. So we're doing prospect number 50 to number 31. So 20 prospects today. We're going to do another 20 prospects to get to our top 10. And then we're going to do a top 10 video to round it all out. So that's going to be super exciting. Hopefully they won't be too super long. So we're going to jump straight into that video today. Before we jump into the video, guys, if you guys like these prospect lists, want me to keep making them in the future potentially, I had so much fun making this top 50. Like, I had so much fun making this top 50 list. Like, it was ridiculously fun. I chose to do this over 3 straight days instead of uploading a video. Like, I was just like, enjoying it and putting so much passion into it. And it was just a lot of fun. So I'm super excited to show you guys what I came up with. So as always, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. In the comments, let me know your feedback on the prospect list. Let me know what you think of it. Maybe there's some players you're excited to see on the list. Maybe there's some players that aren't on the list that maybe you thought deserved to be. Any comments, feedback, please put it in the comments below. I appreciate it a ton. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm not including any players from the 2021 draft that just happened. They just started playing in pro ball. I just don't feel comfortable ranking them in the top 50 personally until we see them play. There's just so many players out there that can't adjust to hitting wood bat. And there's just so many reasons as to why I don't put them in the top 50 until I see some type of evidence that they can play at the pro levels. So no one from the 2021 draft class will be on this list. I apologize if you're looking for some of those players. They're just not going to be on it. And the last thing I'll say, this prospect list is bold. This is a bold prospect list, and I dove into so many prospects, and this is what I came up with. It is going to be something no one's ever put on the internet before. This is going to be completely different than any other prospect list you've seen. Let's do it. Let's jump into the video. Let's start off with prospect number 50. All right, everyone. So let's jump straight into it. You're going to get a glimpse of 49 here just because I literally couldn't get it on my screen any other way. And I'm going to adjust my webcam positioning as well after this first player. But number 50 on my list, Mason Martin, Pittsburgh Pirates. He's in their AA system right now. And I threw up a lot of information on there for you all to digest. And I'm just going to give you my opinion on the player. Mason Martin, I think, is an elite power hitter. Just absolutely unreal power. I think he has a little bit of Pete Alonso in him, where he's probably going to hit like 250 at any level. Like, probably any level he's at, he's going to hit like 250. If he ever hits like 280, he's probably going to hit like 60 home runs. But more than likely, like a 245, 260 hitter that's going to hit 30 home runs on an every year basis. Like, when Mason Martin connects to a baseball, like, it's beautiful. And the one other thing I did add on this is sports cards to watch. So it's going to have their top baseball cards on this prospect list because, you know, a huge part of my channel is baseball cards. So I wanted to make sure that's on there. So I'm probably not going to talk about it too much. I'm mostly going to focus on the players. But Mason Martin, 2019 Bowman Chrome autograph. That's his main card. Let's jump into number 49 now. So Michael Busch, second baseman, Los Angeles Dodgers, plays AA right now for them. Former first rounder from 2019. And he was kind of a borderliner for me, honestly. But I had to include him just because of his consistent high on base percentages. Like, his career over 88 games, 227 batting average. You know, that's terrible. Like, you would think it is at least. But he's getting on at a 372 on base percentage. Like, he's almost at a 400 on base percentage. He's not even hitting well. So if he ever figures out how to hit, and he's the #1 Dodger prospect, so I imagine the Dodgers will figure something out for him. They're so good at developing hitting. If he even hits like 250, like, he's going to have over a 400 on base percentage, probably at mostly every level. You never know when you get to the pros, but he's a high on base percentage guy, and if he can figure out hitting, like, I really think Michael Busch is someone that can explode. And I know it's easier said than done, though, if you can figure out how to hit, but he's putting up high on base percentage numbers without being able to hit. So if he even improves just a little bit, like, he'll be a 400 on base percentage guy. All right, on to number 48, and as much as I'd love to just go crazy on each and every one of these players. I got to go pretty quick. We don't want an hour video. Number 48, Jairo Pomeranz, San Francisco Giants, plays at low A right now. 2018 international signee, big kid. This is someone that's been very surprising to me. And this is someone I never expect to actually have on this list. But he's been super consistent in his 2 pro seasons. And this year he's blowing up. 353 batting average, 414 on base percentage, almost 1,100 OPS, 13 home runs over 48 games. 13 of his 16 career home runs is this year. So a huge jump in power. As you can see, he only has a 45 power ranking. And obviously that's going to go up. So I've just been really impressed with what he's done. He's playing with Luis Matos. He played with Marco Luciano before he got brought up. Just really strong core there in San Jose. I think he's a good player. I like him. I think he deserves to be on this list. Number 47, ONeil Cruz. And this is probably the most intriguing player in the minor leagues, only because he's a 6'7" shortstop, former 2015 international signee. He's just a really good hitter, honestly. Like, very consistent hitter over his minor league career. 276 with a 340 on base percentage, 41 home runs over just under 400 games. And this year he's showing an uptick in power. And we're going to see that as a trend pretty much for this entire season. There's been a ton of home runs in the minor leagues. But over 43 games this year, he's hitting 290 with 9 home runs. So really consistent stuff there. I think ONeil Cruz, I mean, we'll see what happens when he hits the pros, but he has that potential. Being as big as he is, he definitely has one of the highest ceilings as far as power goes. Like, just he's gigantic. He doesn't even have to try, and he hits the ball 430 feet. Like, it's ridiculous. All right, moving on to number 46, Brandon Marsh, and this is someone I had to include on this top 50 list. I'm not crazy about him currently. Like, he just got brought up to the pros, and he's been really slow. But I do think he's a very solid prospect. Like, he might have the most consistent scouting report in the entire minor league. 60 hit, 50 power, 60 runs, 60 arm, 60 field. Like, very well-versed 5-tool player that can do it all. We'll see how long it takes for him to do that at the pro level. But he's a good player, and I think just his all-around ability is going to keep him in the pros for a while. Moving on to number 45, Shea Langoliers, catcher for the Atlanta Braves. He's in their AA system right now, former 9th overall pick in 2019. Shea Langoliers this year, I never thought in my life I'd have him in the top 50, but he is showing an absurd amount of power this year. Over 71 games, 19 home runs. And as far as a prospect list, I want to rank players I think are going to be in the pros for a long time, have long careers. Shea Langoliers is about as good as a defensive catcher as you're going to get. Like, he is so good. He has an awesome arm. And I think that's just going to keep him in the league forever. And if he can hit with what he's doing this year in AA, he's hitting 270. Heck, if he even hits 250 with 20 home runs a season, like, that's a solid catcher, because he's going to be someone that is a very good defensive catcher, and your team's going to want him beyond the plate if he can catch and provide some power for your lineup. So that's why he's at number 45 for me. Moving on to number 44, we have back-to-back catchers here. Diego Cartaya, catcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's in low A right now, 2018 international signee. He's only 19 years old, and this year, Diego Cartaya has done extremely well for his short amount of play. Unfortunately, he's out for the season right now. At least that's what they're saying. Undisclosed reasons. I have no idea what it even is. But over his season so far this year, 31 games, 298 batting average, 400 on base percentage, 10 home runs, over 1,000 OPS. It's just hard to not put someone at that young of an age who's showing that much well-rounded offensive ability inside the top 50. He's really solid. He's also not a bad catcher. Like, you're going to get good defense out of him, good arm. He's definitely one of those Dodgers prospects that could boom in the future, for sure. Moving on to number 43, another Dodger, Miguel Vargas, third baseman. He's in AA right now with the Dodgers, 2017 international signee. Miguel Vargas has had an extremely consistent minor league career, 310 over 262 games. But the thing for me to jump him up onto this top 50 is his power this year. And like I said, it's going to be pretty consistent. But look at, he's hit 17 of his 26 home runs this season. And he's performing just as well at AA as he was in high A. He's doing super well this year. I think he's definitely a surprise name for me, because he wasn't even on my radar last year. And he probably should have been, because he has solid minor league career under his belt. But this year's been unbelievable. Like, slashing close to the 400 on base percentage while moving up, 17 home runs over 86 games. Like, really, really consistent. And that's why he's on my list. All right, moving on to number 42, Blaze Jordan, Boston Red Sox, high A, third rounder in 2020. Probably would have went first round, but he was really committed to going to Mississippi State. Pandemic hit, ended up signing actually. Started off in rookie ball this season. So these are just going to be the FCL rookie ball numbers over 19 games, 362 batting average, 408 on base percentage, 1,075 OPS, 4 home runs. Dominated in rookie ball. And, you know, I'm not going to have a lot of these players on this list that are this young and barely have had any pro experience because I'm definitely a show first before I start hyping them up. But I do think Blaze Jordan's good. I think his power is crazy. Like, he was in a home run derby when he was like 13 years old and hit a 500-foot home run. Like, his power is crazy. And he's a giant kid, 6'2", 220 at 18 years old. I think the power alone brings him there, and he seems to be a pretty solid hitter. So that's why he makes my list at number 42. And I would say that was my first bold player to include on this list. Moving up to number 41, Eliot Ramos, San Francisco Giants. He's in AAA right now. Former 19th overall pick in 2017. He's just had a pretty consistent minor league career, and he's really showed some flashes at times. Like, he won Giants MVP in spring training this year. Like, he went off. He had like over 400, had the most home runs in their organization. Like, he was crazy in spring training, and I think that's why I still have him in my top 50, because he has been a little less consistent this year in AAA. He started off super hot, and this got really cold, and he's kind of been more consistent lately. But over his career, 270 hitter, 350-ish on base percentage, 43 home runs over 341 games. I think he's someone that just has a lot of raw talent, and I do think that he is going to be a part of the Giants' future. I really do. If the Giants want this dynasty that they're building with their farm system to work, I think Eliot Ramos, being one of the older guys in their farm system at 21 years old, which is crazy to say, needs to develop and needs to be like a veteran for those younger guys when they come up so they can look up to. So that's why he's on my list at number 41. Number 40, Everson Pereira, and this has been a huge surprise this year. He definitely struggled when he first came up to pro ball, 17 years old at the time. Just honestly, you could see in his stats that he was just not ready yet. But now that he's put on muscle and he's developed, he's matured, he has been unstoppable this year. He's played at rookie ball, A ball, and high A. I wouldn't be surprised if he moved up to double A this year too. Like, he has been that good. Over 30 games this year, a 360 batting average, 462 on base percentage, almost a 1,200 OPS and 10 home runs. 10 of his 14 home runs have come this year. Another huge uptick for a player in power. He doesn't want to slow down. Like, I think he went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs yesterday. Like, I've just been really impressed, and that's why I put him in my top 40. Moving on to number 39, Justin Foscue, Texas Rangers, double A. He was the 14th overall pick in the 2020 draft. He's a second baseman. That's a big second baseman, has a lot of power. He missed a little bit of time in June with bruised ribs, but since then he has made up every bit of time with his performance. Over 37 games this year, over rookie ball, high A, and double A. 303 batting average, 407 on base percentage, 1124 OPS, and 15 home runs in 37 games. Justin Foscue has absolutely shown he belongs, and he's not slowing down. He has had awesome performances at literally every single level, and at double A so far, he's hitting like 450. So he's off to a really hot start being in double A. Only a few games there, but he's not showing any signs of slowing down. So that's why I have him at number 39. Going in at number 38 here, Christian Pache. And this is someone that I dropped a lot on my list. Christian Pache, you know, on the MLB pipeline, like he's like number 13 or something like that. Christian Pache, for me, I dropped him just because his offensive performance has been very inconsistent. And this is someone that could definitely figure it out and definitely still be a humongous superstar in the MLB. But I have him on my top 50 still. Like, I almost didn't have him on my top 50 because of how disappointed I've been with his offense this year. Is because of how good he is at defense. Like, this dude is a Gold Glove center fielder. If he plays 162 games in center field, he's probably winning a Gold Glove or at least a finalist. That's how good he is at defense. Again, offense has been pretty consistent over his minor league career, hitting 280. But I'm not crazy about his low performance in the major leagues. And so far, he's only hitting 250 at AAA too. So, like, I would like to see him improve on offense. If he's going to make that improvement offensively, like, sky's the limit for him. Number 37, Jose Garcia, now known as Jose Barrera. Shortstop, Cincinnati Reds. He's in AAA right now. This is someone I've been pretty high on since I watched him in spring training in 2020. Just someone that stuck out to me on the field that day, played really well, made awesome defensive plays, watched him hit a home run too. He has broken out this season. This has been his breakout year for sure. This is a player that definitely got brought up too early last year. Like, I don't remember why the reason he got brought up. Maybe they just needed someone to play defense at shortstop, but he was not ready to come up last year. He's 100% ready now. In AAA, absolutely dominating. Over 76 games this year, 300 batting average, 375 on base percentage, almost a 900 OPS, and 15 home runs. Another guy, 15 of his 29 home runs have come this season. I think he's a really well-rounded player. I think he's a Gold Glove defender. I think the Reds have a good future shortstop in Jose Barrera. I do. Moving on to number 36, Drew Waters. I want to say Waters so badly, but it's Waters. Drew Waters, Atlanta Braves, AAA. This is someone the Braves need to bring up this year. This is someone I've been really high on in the past. Honestly, I dropped him a little bit, similar to Christian Pache. I don't know if it's really difficult to hit in that AAA field, but he's not hitting as well as I thought he would because he's been extremely consistent over his MLB career. Over 366 games, 290, 353, 806 OPS, 28 home runs. You know, it's just dropped off a little bit since moving up to AAA, which I just didn't see coming. Hitting 257. He's got 8 home runs. It's not terrible. 8 of his 28 this year. But Drew Waters, he's a switch hitter. I just think he's a very good hitter. Like that 290 is what I can see him doing in the major leagues. That is at least what I think he can do in the major leagues. Really good defender, really good arm, really fast. Like at bare minimum, like he's going to be an awesome corner outfield. Like if the Braves get a solid Drew Waters, Christian Pache, and Ronald Acuna in their outfield, like that is the best defensive outfield we will see in a really long time. Number 35, and this is a bold statement, and you're going to call me biased, YouTube. I know you will, because he's an ASU boy, but Trevor Hover, Texas Rangers, he's in high A now. 3rd round draft pick from the Yankees. He got traded to the Rangers in the Joey Gallo trade, and this is someone I couldn't not put on my list just because of how well he's done this year. Like a lot of people probably won't have him in the top 50 or would definitely have him lower on the list, but I literally could not. I was comparing these. Like at the end of this list, when I was comparing my list, I literally had my wife read off each name individually and just ask me, like, do you prefer this player or this player? And this is where Trevor Hover ended up. I just prefer him over other players so far because he has not skipped a beat at any level so far at pro ball. I watched him in college. He was really good offensively there. And so far he's done the same. Over 76 games, a 440 on base percentage and 12 home runs. So definitely not a slacker there. I will say 6 of them came in the first week of the season. So his home run power hasn't been insane the entire season, but he has power. I did like him more in Yankee Stadium, but I think he fits any field. I think he's just going to be a good hitter. You can't teach getting on base like that. Like Trevor Hover has those box scores that you consistently check, and he either goes like 3 for 3 or he goes like 0 for 3 with 2 walks. Like the Juan Soto, the Mike Trout box scores. Like that's what this dude's doing so far in his pro career. And it's super encouraging. Like he gets on base every single game, it seems like very rarely when I check the box score, he's not getting on. So that's why I have him at 35. I know it's bold, but I'm confident with that one. I like that pick a lot. Number 34, and we just got a couple more here. Keibert Ruiz, Washington Nationals, AAA, was traded from the Dodgers in the Max Scherzer and Trey Turner trade. He was the big prospect piece there. It was perfect for him because he really wasn't going to see playing time in LA for a while probably, and not good playing time at least. So now he has that opportunity. He's just been consistent. 445 games in the minors, 298 batting average, 353 on base percentage, 800 OPS, 46 home runs. Like just super solid. 17 home runs this year too. So just definitely seems like a potential high-end offensive catcher. Decent at defense too. I mean, a 55 grade's no slouch. So I would say Keibert Ruiz, if he can get comfortable at the pro level, like could definitely be, like I said, an elite offensive catcher. So we'll see what happens. I think he deserves to be in that 34 spot. Number 33, Austin Martin. And this is someone, honestly, I had no intentions of putting in my top 50 just because I just don't think Vanderbilt players pan out that often. Like it's crazy how good they are in college and just not that great in the pros. Like it happens too often. Yes, some do pan out, but I just have a theory. I just don't like Vanderbilt players. I just don't. Like it's not even that I don't like Vanderbilt. Like I'm a Pac-12 guy. I'm an ASU fan, so they have no relationship, no rivalry there. I just from what I've seen in the most recent years, like their players haven't been panning out very well. But Austin Martin, similar to Trevor Hover, this dude is getting on base like crazy. He got put immediately to Double-A, so the Blue Jays had a lot of faith in him there. And now he got traded to the Minnesota Twins. He's in their Double-A system. And over 63 games, 291 batting average, which is great. 441 on base percentage. Absolutely love it. 441 on base percentage. Only 3 home runs, so not a ton of power. Obviously, in-game power can come. He does have the power. 441 on base percentage. That's why he's number 33 on my list. Straight up. Number 32. And this is going to be my next, what I would say, bold prospect placement. Seth Beer, Arizona Diamondbacks. He's in AAA Reno right now. First round, 28th overall pick in 2018. This is someone that's kind of just been blue-balled into not getting into MLB yet because he's been so consistent. 268 games, 294 batting average, 392 on base percentage, 904 OPS. He has 51 home runs since he's been drafted in 2018, and this year's just been more consistency moving up to AAA for the first time. 292 batting average, 402 on base percentage, 923 OPS, 13 home runs. Like, he's improving on his numbers, and he's putting up numbers at AAA. And I just think Seth Beer, yes, he's a little older. He's 24 years old, but I think he's going to be really good. I do. I think he's just going to be really solid. He gets on base. He can hit for power. He has the versatility of playing first base and outfield. Especially as a Diamondbacks fan, I hope he pans out, but I do think he's good. I was super pumped when he got traded in the Zach Greinke trade. Like, I was extremely excited to get Seth Beer. Plus, if he pans out, we're going to get a bunch of jerseys around this state that I live in that say Beer on the back. So, show me the negatives. And our last player today, number 31 overall on my prospect list, Elvis Martinez is rounding it out today. Plays for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's in high A right now. He has been very good this year. Extremely good this year. His batting average hasn't been super consistent. And I should just say he started off extremely slow. Like, he started off terrible. And he had one of the best months you could possibly have. I think he hit like 14 home runs in 1 month. Like, it was ridiculous. Over 79 games this year, 270 batting average, which is fine. 354 on base percentage, which is fine for a shortstop. 917 OPS, which is good. 22 home runs, though. 22 home runs as a 19-year-old shortstop. Sign me up all day, every day. The upside is there, and that's why he's at this number 31 spot. The upside with Elvis Martinez is crazy. And that's going to do it for today's video. That is prospects number 50 to number 31 on my list. We'll have number 30 to number 11 on my next video on this prospect list, and we'll have the top 10 after that. So, yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Again, I did not include any players from the 2021 MLB draft just because I need to see them play first before I put them in the top 50. It's just not going to happen. Yes, Jordan Lawler is awesome. Marcelo Myers, great. Like, there's some extremely good talents in this draft. I just need to see them play before I physically put them in here. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. As always, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. In the comments, give me your feedback. What do you think of prospects 50 through 31? Do you think they fit? Do you think they shouldn't be? Let me know in the comments if you hate any of these players I have on there. Just let me know. Let me have it. Give me your honest opinions. I'd love to have them. Give me your feedback. Anything I can improve on, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your day. See ya!